Good morning, it's Saturday and welcome to Saba's Way of Life. And today I'm in the garden, the sun is out, it's a rare day that we get sun here in East Berkshire, in the UK, in general, and I am in the sun all day. So my cancer talk reading will have to wait, I'm afraid, because this is important. But let me just share the joys of being in the garden. When you get going and you start growing your own food, it's like nurturing your own child. When you get into your garden, you notice every little thing, and I'm going to excite you for those who are excited by every tiny thing that happens in the garden and that you note it. And I'm just going to excite you, or for some of you it might be boring, but then you wouldn't be watching this channel. So let me just give you some inspiration for you to note. I get a lot of inspiration also from going out on walks. I put a beautiful short up, which you can go back and look, on a woodland walk yesterday that's not too far from me. It was just beautiful weather, and I come into my little 70-foot garden and I think I can recreate that. I'm going to do that next year. I'm going to start now and grow those things. That's where the inspiration comes from. But more than anything, it's how it makes you feel. I just can you feel the breeze. I can hear the chickens. There's still birds in the trees. Everything is blooming, and especially when you've created it, it's just unimaginably purposeful, meaningful. This is what brings joy, being in nature. So let me just turn this around. First thing I want to show you are these lilies. And now today, while I'm showing you these, today is the last day of the ascending moon. It's a descending moon tomorrow. It's a root day today. So I'm getting prepared, because the next week and a half in the garden is again coming up to a week before the full moon, and that's when it all happens. It's a descending moon, which means all the energy is down in the earth, and it's a good time to transplant. So a lot of the seedlings can be transplanted out. You can work with the land, with the soil, and the other thing also is that the energy from the moon, as the moon is waxing, is so strong. It's a very, very, very good time to plant seeds, because things will germinate very quickly, as you have seen in my greenhouse. So what I'm doing today, as the descending moon starts tomorrow, I'm just preparing things. It's a root day, so I'm just going to take all the weeds out of here and there. And while I'm doing this, I can see things that will need to be done. The only way is to go out and spend time in the garden and be creative, and creativity enters your mind. All right, so those were the lilies I've showed you. They're spider lilies. They're bright red. Down here are lilies they gave me. They just stay in this pot, and I just don't take them out. And you can see these are these bright orange lilies. I do need to try and propagate these, but I thought they were dead. They're still there. And over here, where a few weeks ago I was taking a risk in sowing spinach and all sorts of things here, but you can see, because it was so cold, but you can see over here they've started to grow spinach. They won't stay here, I'll move them around, but they have started to germinate. Little things have done. There's an onion there, or a leek. This thing here, can you see it? It started to germinate, but I don't know. Let's just wait and see what happens. Everything is happening. I did a short this morning and showed you the potatoes germinating. The other thing here, look at this rocket. There's a ton of it. I'm going to bring it out into the garden now, because it would have acclimatized nicely. But there's a lot of stuff going on here in my own homemade compost where there's weeds, and I've got to just carefully sit down and take the weeds out and be prepared for the next 2 weeks to start planting these out. I have got a host of sunflowers, and they are going to be all over the garden this year. I think they are very to encourage wildlife to come in, and the squirrels and the birds. and the robins and everything comes in when there's a heap of sunflowers about. I just want to show you this little area here. It's like an area of weeds, but weeds are good because it's like I've got this little woodland tiny area here, and I've left him. I've got pots full of weeds. Here are the hens, right, who want to come out, but the sun's coming into the run later, and this looks lovely. Look, and what I might do is just throw in this little dandelion there, which I love. It has its place in the garden, and I'm just going to leave there because it's a nice little peaceful spot with a lovely Buddha. Not that I'm into Buddhas or anything, it just looks nice, and it holds water so the birds can get at it, which is wonderful. The compost heap, the compost heap needs watering, and I had pruned and some of the arum lilies. They're actually growing in the compost heap. Look at this one. It's in the compost. It's actually a whole plant growing in the compost heap. It does make me laugh, the things that nature does. I love that. I love the quirkiness of nature. I want to show you this Victoria plum tree. Now we're getting to the stage, look, we're getting to the stage where I'm going to have to spray this with something, and I'm going to do this on a fruit day, the next fruit day coming up, on a descending moon, because I want to do things with this tree on a descending moon, simply because all the energy is in the plant on an ascending moon. So if I'm going to spray something on the fruit tree, by the way, I'm just talking this through. I don't know whether this is right or wrong. I think for myself a lot. I read, learn, and then I think for myself. So I'm just talking it out loud to you that given the moon is descending, all the energy is going down, and therefore it's not going to have such an effect if I spray the plants with some good quality willow bark aspirin to stop those awful little maggots from the moths going into the plums, which happened last year. So the next fruit day, descending moon, I'll be doing that. And I'm also going to be putting some kind of Vaseline or something down the bottom to stop things crawling up. So I've got to remember to do that. And the apple tree, look at that. I was so worried this year. I don't know what fruit we're going to have, but look. These are heritage trees. Oh, it's a nice little snail on there. I'll take it off. But blooms are starting to come out, and these are obviously going to fruit and become apples. And I've worked very hard with these trees, both the trees I've got, there's one there as well, to manage them, prune them, and give them the best chance of producing good fruit. The other thing I've noticed when I looked up into the sky this morning, and I'm still seeing it, and it's a bit obvious to me, it's just crisscross everywhere. If I just take this up and just show you, you see, those aren't just planes with passengers. They're actually planes throwing something out which isn't so pleasant. Just do some homework on Geo Engineering, which I spent a lot of time on in 2020, and you can see that they're using this glorious weather to spray all this shite up in the sky, and then suddenly it's all going to rain down onto us. So this is why it's important to keep yourself really healthy, because our lands are being attacked, and it's not conspiracy if any of you think it is. It's just, well, conspiracy is based mostly on truth. Just do your homework, be bothered to switch off mainstream nonsense and do your own homework. Geo Engineering, look it up, not on Googly. Look it up somewhere else, do some homework, because a lot of things have been actually deleted now, but in 2020 there was a lot of stuff coming out, and I make notes on everything, so I've got a whole lecture on it. That video's been taken down by the couple of scientists that were actually involved in geoengineering themselves, and they spoke out. They wiki-leaked information. Anyway, that's what I'm doing today. I am going to be in the garden all day, just preparing for a very busy 2 weeks coming up of important gardening chores. I hope you all have a good day, and if you're in the UK, just get outdoors, for God's sake. Whatever you do, just get outdoors.